Hey guys, Ranger here, and I'm back with the final update on that 1970 Ford Custom. And the car is done. Basically what I was able to do, I reattached the chassis, lifted up the rear end a smidge to give it the impression that it has the big block under the hood. And I painted the park lights on the front of the car, and I was able to reattach the light bar. The globes, or rather the rotator lenses, came off. I was able to reattach it. The guy originally had it setting way too far back, but I was able to restore it, reattach the tires and everything, the wheels, hubcaps and everything onto it, and then I was able to go over the rear end, paint around the tail lights, the silver trim around the tail lights, and paint the keyhole on the trunk as well. And I did not do the interior. I originally was going to do the interior tan, but I decided not to repaint the interior tan. I was going to, but I first decided not to, and then I ended up gluing the chassis on, and so I kind of screwed myself over on that one. So I just decided to leave the chassis black. But one thing that you'll probably notice with this particular car is you'll notice these little plates, or rather these little things on the rear wheels. These colored things. And originally, at first, I wondered what those were, but then whenever I got a closer look at them, I realized what they were. The seller of this particular kit, or rather the builder, apparently actually had this attached onto a base, and that is actually fake moss or fake grass. So I believe this kit was actually once attached or glued onto a base, onto a sort of like landscaping base, and then it was removed and sold. And so what I managed to do, I tried using a razor blade to try to cut off what I could of them, but I weren't able to actually get them off. The glue itself is old, and it will not come off. But I just left it on, so I just left it on there. But I was able to paint the park lights on the front of the car. The rear park lights on the back fenders were actually painted amber as well, so I had to paint those red. And then I reattached the light bar. The CHP never really used Ford until the 90s. I mean, until the 80s and the 90s. It was mostly Dodge throughout the 1970s. But again, the car itself was finished, and I'm pretty happy with it. It turned out pretty good, even though I didn't do the decals or anything, or the paint myself. I did restore it pretty much to factory, the way that it was. And again, I lifted the rear end up, so. But I'm pretty happy with it. So, thank you guys again for joining me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.